Imagine you're at a peaceful farmer's market, celebrating your daughter's birthday, when 6 strangers surround her, accusing your family of abandoning innocent babies. The kicker? Those babies were the result of your husband's affair, and the people blaming her are his parents. What happens next? Well, let's just say I weaponized their own church to drag their lies into the light. If you've ever been betrayed, cornered, or judged by people who didn't know the full story, you're going to love this. Hit that like button, subscribe for more revenge justice, and buckle up, because today's tale of church drama, family betrayal, and poetic justice is one for the books. I'm a 46-year-old mom of 2 teenage daughters, 17 and 15. We've always had a close bond, especially after going through the trauma of my ex-husband's affair and then his sudden death in a car crash last year. He didn't just cheat, he created a second life. And when both he and his affair partner died, they left behind 2 little boys, orphaned and born from betrayal. My daughters were the ones who uncovered the affair, and it broke them. The betrayal, the lies, the complete loss of stability. And yet, the people who should have protected them, my ex's parents, did the exact opposite. They've tried to force my daughters to become older sisters to the affair children, tried to move into our home, tried to take custody of my girls. Yes, you heard that right. They filed in court, demanding custody of my daughters after their cheating son died. Let that sink in. It's been hell. But I thought we had at least one normal day when we visited our local weekend market. My youngest's birthday is this month, so I gave her a budget and told her to splurge. Chocolates, sweets, whatever made her happy. It was supposed to be fun, until she called me, sobbing. She told me some strangers had cornered her. I grabbed my oldest daughter, and we ran. We found my baby surrounded by 6 older women, members of my ex-in-law's church. I recognized a few of them, and they were tearing into her, calling her unchristian, accusing her of abandoning her baby brothers, telling her she was hard-hearted and cruel for refusing to be a good big sister. These women had no idea about the trauma my daughters were living with, no idea the emotional scars their father left behind. I printed everything. Pictures of my ex and his mistress kissing in our living room, screenshots of texts confessing the affair, messages where my in-laws supported his cheating, their bullying of my daughters, and the final blow, messages blaming my daughters for their father's death 2 days after the crash. I had it all printed on beautiful, glossy paper. Then I got crafty. I made customized binders, neatly designed to look like church hymn packets. On the first page, a full-page photo of my ex and his mistress making out, faces clear, captioned, "The real love story of John and Ava." Underneath, presented to you by the truth. That Sunday, I showed up to the church, early. There's a table in the back with spare hymn packets for those who forget theirs. No one checks them, so I slipped mine in, at least 25 copies, front and center, and left. I stepped in like any mother would, told my eldest to pay and head to the car with her sister. Then I turned to the pack of women and let them have it. One even said, "You're defying your husband's parents. That's not what a good Christian wife would do. Oh, please, spare me the scripture shaming." The yelling escalated. Eventually, market security kicked us all out. These women followed me back to the car like vultures, still muttering judgment. I drove my daughters home. They cried themselves to sleep. And I logged on. One of the few reasonable church members I still talk to filled me in. My ex-mother-in-law had posted a dramatic, twisted, Hallmark-worthy sob story to the church's Facebook group. She claimed I was heartless, that I was abandoning her and her husband, that I refused to care for the poor orphan boys her saint of a son left behind. She even said the affair partner was our surrogate and I rejected the boys because they were male. Let that vile lie wash over you. This woman was rewriting history, and her cronies were eating it up, offering prayers, sympathy, donations. She even said I was making them homeless and had stolen their grandchildren. Meanwhile, the truth? They inherited my ex's life insurance and personal savings account. They were not homeless. They were just manipulative liars. But what really lit my fire was what they said about my daughters. That they were bastards. That it was their fault their father died. Because they told me about the affair and started the divorce process. I had every text, every email. The next day, I took the day off work. First stop, the print shop. It took less than an hour for the church gossip mill to erupt. The Facebook group exploded. People were stunned, furious, disgusted. Turns out, even in a slightly backwards church, cheating is still a massive taboo. It doesn't matter how many fake stories you spin. If you lie in God's name, you pay the price. The pastor had to step in to beg people to tone down the language online. The names my ex and his mistress got called, let's just say some were biblically savage. As for my ex-in-laws, their support system vanished overnight. They were shunned. They had to leave the church. But here's the cherry on top. I received 2 apology letters, handwritten, to my daughters, and an invite back to the church for support and healing. Apparently, I had strayed from the light because of the pain, but my actions were understandable. They even called my husband's affair partner a Jezebel. They used a worse word, but you get the idea. The same people who once called my daughters bastards were now apologizing and saying how strong they were. You see, sometimes justice doesn't come from courtrooms. It comes from truth, from exposing lies in places where they're not supposed to exist. My daughters didn't deserve to carry shame. They deserved peace. And finally, they got it. If this story gave you chills or made you want to stand up and cheer, hit that like button. Share it with someone who needs to hear it, and tell us in the comments, what's the most satisfying revenge you've ever seen? Subscribe for more real-life stories that prove one thing: karma always finds a way.